Hi, it's Salvatore McDonough, and I'd like to explain conversion rate optimization for you and using analytics to improve your return on investment from your website. So it all starts with your prospective customer having a problem that they need to solve. And there's a variety of ways that they can source the information that they need to help them to define their problem better, understand it, and then find the product that is going to solve it. Hopefully your product or your service. So traditionally they would have used what's now called offline media, newspapers, television, radio, billboards, or the golden pages to try and find the answer to their problem. Maybe they'd even go to the library. But far more likely these days they're going to turn on their computer, if it's not already on, or use their phone and go to Google or Bing or Yahoo or even YouTube to do a search. And Google being having the majority of the market, YouTube being the next largest search engine, followed by Bing and Yahoo, which have recently merged. Or they're going to go and in fact, more likely they'll use a search engine and as well as that, turn to their social media contacts, their friends, their business associates, people they work with, where they're connected to via Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and YouTube, which is a social media website as well as a search engine. There's also email, but we're not going to talk about that. Talk about that in the next video. Now, what you're going to measure, or what you want, is the click. You want them to click through to your website. So depending on the way that they find out about you, if they've heard about you on TV, radio, or the golden pages, they're probably going to type in your website address. They may pick up the phone and phone you, but people are more likely to go and have a look at your website first these days. If they found you via search engine or via social media, that click may not take them to the home page. In fact, it's far more likely to take them to an internal page that is relevant to the search term, to the keywords that they used when they typed that search in. And Google will try and, or the other search engines will try and give them the most relevant page on your website, which is usually not the home page. So are your internal pages on your website leading people towards the sale? Are they helping them to solve that problem that is answering the question that they have asked via the search engine or via their social media contacts? So this is your sales funnel. Now your website, you may not have looked at it in this way before. You probably have a hierarchical view of your website where you have the home page linked to all the other pages in some sort of hopefully logical fashion that's easy for people to navigate and for search engine spiders to navigate so that they can categorize the pages correctly. However, in actual fact, the way people flow through your website is usually not via the home page, it's usually via one of these pages. Now they may go back to the home page, but ultimately you should have designed your website in such a way that there is a logical flow which leads them through your website to make a purchase and end up on a transaction completed page, which I'm calling here the sale or conversion page, where you should have set up your Google Analytics goal as this page. This is where you want them to end up having made a purchase, parted with their money. Now they may do that offline, or maybe you sell a service or something that you can't actually do the transaction online, but you still need to be measuring all the steps along the way, including this phone call. When it came in, what number they phoned. You shouldn't be using the same phone number on your website as you use in the golden pages, otherwise you can't differentiate where that phone call came from. So you want to lead them to a sale, a conversion. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about a conversion. It is a money transaction where someone has purchased your product or service. So let's have a look at the overview again. We have your prospective customer. They find you somehow via one of these channels, arrive at your website, travel through your website logically to make a purchase. There are plenty of places for this to go wrong. They may go to your competitors' websites instead of yours, or they may look at yours and your competitors. In fact, that's what most people do these days, is they will do a fair amount of research online before they ever pick up the phone and phone you. They will already have looked at your website. They may look at it on their mobile phone, they may look at it via the internet, they may talk to their friends about it first, but the chances of them phoning you directly from an advert are much slimmer than they used to be. About 80% of people in the United States, and Ireland probably isn't very far behind, do some online research first before they make a major purchase. So if your product or service is not something as trivial as a $5 hamburger or something, the chances are they're going to do some research before they make the transaction. And they may even do that inside your shop on their mobile phone. So does the information on your website lead to that sale? So what do you want to measure? Okay, there's a few things here. We want to measure the clicks, and let's have a closer look. All right, so you want to know which traffic, which media they arrived from onto your website, so that you know where to spend your money, or where not to spend your money, more importantly. You want to look at the conversion rate, which is the number of conversions divided by the number of clicks, or the number of visitors. They're not always the same thing, but there's no need to worry about that. As long as you're measuring everything in the same way, you will have valid information to base your decisions on. Okay, so in this case, let's just say that X% is bigger. More people from this traffic source end up buying than people from this traffic source that arrive on this page. Okay, it's very important to realize that the page itself will have a conversion rate. Some pages on your website will be much better when people land on them at converting than others, and they will all have a different bounce rate as well. So page A and page B may have different conversion rates for the page, and each traffic source will convert at a different rate to each page. So you need to look at that and say, what does this mean? Why is this page converting better for this traffic source? Why has this page got a bigger bounce rate than this one? What can we do to improve the conversion rate? What's different about them? What's the same? You know, what does this mean? So interpreting the data is important. There's no point just gathering it, but you need to look at it in such a way that it helps you to improve your website so that you're more likely to get the sale. Okay, so the next thing you want to look at is abandon, where people leave your website via the first page they land on, or the landing page. That's called a bounce. Once they've traveled onto the next page or subsequent pages within your website, if they leave it there and go back to Google or disappear to a different website, that's called an abandon. And you want to find the biggest leak, the biggest hole where the most people are abandoning your sales process, and figure out what's broken on that page. How can you fix that leak? Where are they going? Why are they disappearing? You can ask them. You can look at other pages. You can look at your competitors' sales processes and try to understand what might be causing people to leave your sales process before they get to making the transaction. And the other thing you want to measure is your refund rate. How many of the people that purchase via your website from each traffic source, you want to know that this person arrived via social media and this person arrived via your offline advertising, that maybe if you get a higher refund rate for these than for these, that you need to change the way you're advertising to that particular media channel to match better the one that has the lower refund rate, so that people's expectations are set correctly, so they understand your product or your service better, so they're not disappointed with the product. Instead, they're happy, delighted that they actually get what they were expecting, or more than they were expecting. So I hope that helps you to understand the process that a person goes through when they're making a purchase, and how you should measure it, where you should measure it, and particularly how to improve it. One of the ways is by specifically designing two versions of a page and sending half or a percentage of your traffic to each version of that page, what that's called an A/B split test, and then measuring the difference over time once you have enough visitors through both of those pages to measure the conversion rate in a statistically significant way so that you don't misinterpret the data. You will be able to then say which page is better and then promote that to being the getting all of the traffic, then design another page maybe based on a variation of the winning page with something else to test, maybe change the headline or change the offer or the price, etc., etc., to see if you can improve it again and again and again. And by iteratively repeating this process of measuring, testing, having two versions of a page to test against each other, and sending traffic to those pages, splitting the traffic between them, you can improve over time your conversion rate to the stage where you know where to spend your money to get the best return on investment, what to say in your ads, online, offline, what to say on social media that improves the likelihood that someone is going to come flow through your sales process without abandoning it and make the sale and not ask you for a refund, but instead recommend you to their friends on social media and make repeat purchases. So that's what conversion rate optimization is all about. I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like more information like this, there should be a sign-up form somewhere on the page. If you're not on my website, go to webmarketingireland.com and sign up there, and there will be more videos like this which explain search engine optimization and how to use Google Analytics, how to set up Google Analytics, and I will pretty much make videos over time that as per request. So whatever questions you have, go to the website, sign up for the mailing list to find out when new videos are available, and feel free to ask me whatever questions you have. Okay, I look forward to seeing your responses. Thank you for listening.